Joining us now is Melissa Kirking. She's the author of Jesus and Me, Talking with My Greatest Friend, a book that guides children to develop a conversation with Jesus. Melissa, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me here, Kevin and Monet.
Of course.
I have to ask you, because we talked about it too, how hot is it where you are?
It is at 7 o'clock the other night. It was still like 106.
Oh my gosh. I shouldn't even complain then.
Yeah,
I take back all my complaints.
It's all in what you're used to. So I must admit, the 107 keeps me indoors.
Well, let's dive into the book if we could, Melissa. Tell us a little bit about what inspired you to write it.
So I was a Catholic school teacher many years ago in a small town up in Ohio, and the priest at the time asked us to bring our children to First Friday Adoration. As a first grade teacher with 32 children, I was like, "You want me to do what?" And are you sure you know how busy my kids are? But I started bringing the children, and I quickly realized how amazing it was. The children really were drawn to that time with Jesus, and so that priest really put a seed deep in my heart, a love deep in my heart for bringing children to adoration and to come to know and love and want to spend time with Jesus. And so through the years, I've worked on different projects, but this book is a tangible thing children can take with them, whether it be, praying before Mass or praying at bedtime, or I have one grandparent who brings it with her when she visits her grandchildren to pray with them as their special time, and also something to walk into adoration with and to be able to guide so they don't have to worry about, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? What if I run out of things to say?
Yeah.
Definitely. And, Melissa, right now, a lot of my friends are getting married and having their children, and, they're just getting in their heads about, oh no, like my children are starting to be too loud at Mass or in adoration. But we know that is no reason not to bring children to the church or even to an adoration chapel. So can you talk about if there's a good starting age for adoration? What have you seen firsthand? And what are some of the fruits you have seen with children going in front of our Lord, present in the true sacrament in the monstrance?
So, yes. So I think we do holy minutes with our little ones. We can bring them we can bring our babies in for a couple minutes, or I started when my son was 2 or 3, bringing him for a few minutes, and he was so busy, but it was holy minutes, and it became part of his way, as a child, that he even built a Tinker Toy monstrance one day when I was gone. That's what he did, and my husband's like, "Oh, you're gonna be so proud of him." And then I have children who have who will go home and tell their dad, I got to talk to Jesus today. And I've had children, we took 18-month-old to 4-year-olds to adoration with the ECDC program. And, we talked about sweeping our heart clean for Jesus. And a child was using his candy cane to sweep his heart clean for Jesus. So children really connect in with it. So I think we go with holy minutes. I think the book steps through what adoration is, Jesus's true presence. And so the book gives a good starting point for families, for parents to talk to their children about what adoration is, and even gives the pointers as to when you should genuflect and things like that. So I think, I think all ages have a time they can go, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, and we're seeing some of the images from the video now and some of the shots from the book, and it looks beautiful. And if you could talk a little bit about that, as you mentioned, the adoration is one type of the prayers, but you also talk about the 3 others too. Maybe if you can get into some of the details of the book that they'll be seeing.
Sure. There are 80 color-coded prayer prompts. So there are praising or adoration of Jesus, being sorry, a child-friendly way of saying contrition, thanksgiving, and asking Jesus. And there it's drawn as to parallels for talking with your divine friend, like talking with your earthly friend. And so, when we see something cool about our friend, or they have a good, a neat skill, then we compliment them. And that's what praising Jesus is. It's complimenting Jesus. And it goes through the line. When we hurt our friends' feelings, we tell them we're sorry, and we hurt Jesus's feelings. So we need to tell him we're sorry. So all those parallels. And then within those 80 prompts, there's so many different ways. So there's 20 of each kind. So a child could pick one of each kind, or they can focus on one. You don't have to go from front to back. It's you pick and choose as you go. And they have everything from Pope quotes, saint quotes, imaginative prayers, journaling, even writing a song, ways to pull children into prayer throughout their day, not just in their regular prayer moment. Would you want an example of a couple of the prayers?
Well, I think maybe even if you want to just quickly hone in, I know we're wrapping up on time soon, Melissa, but maybe just to just explain the different learning styles that any child can learn from. Because again, we know that children learn differently. So maybe if you want to just highlight maybe 2 different learning styles that you have honed in on, whether it's prayer or images that you just want to discuss, and then you can give us the website where people can go to purchase their book.
Sure. So, some children, they need a little bit of movement, right? And so, even just simply holding up your fingers and counting, your Thanksgiving out on your fingers, that gives just a little bit of movement. A child who is a writer, there's many prayer opportunities within there to write their prayers down, or to draw their prayers. So those are 2 examples of how children, or some children are very imaginative. So imagining they're a sponge soaking up Jesus's love. Yes. And so the book you can find on ascensionpress.com, JesusandMe.com. And then there is also a downloadable free prayer resource as well that people can download while they're waiting for the book to arrive in the mail.
Wonderful. Well, Melissa, thank you so much again for taking the time to have a conversation with us. And thank you for writing this book, because adoration, as we know as Catholics, is so vital and important, and especially forming a prayer life at a young age. So thank you for all the work that you have done.
Thank you, Monet, for having me.